While his party runs in third place for vote intention, it's the NDP's Jagmeet Singh with the highest favourability rate at 45%. Liberal Leader Justin Trudeau is next at 41%, while the Conservatives' Erin O'Toole comes in at 28%, and Green Leader Anna May Paul at 15%. On the flip side, Liberal Leader Justin Trudeau has the highest unfavourability rating at 53%, Erin O'Toole next at 49%, Anna May Paul at 43%, and Jagmeet Singh at 39%.
Jagmeet Singh was introduced to Canadians in the last election campaign, and they really didn't get much of a look at him until we had the debates, and people responded reasonably favorably to him at the time. But what we're seeing right now is he's the only leader that we tested that actually has a positive net favorability rating, which means more people like what he's doing than dislike what he's doing. So Jagmeet Singh's absolutely become an asset for the NDP ticket, and he is clearly somebody, particularly I would say progressive voters, are prepared to take a look at. So in many ways, he represents the most serious challenge to Justin Trudeau and his leadership, because he represents that type of leader that people who are progressive voters who have voted for the Liberal Party actually feel affinity for or are attracted to. Justin Trudeau used to be the biggest strength on the Liberal ticket. Back in 2015, it was definitely his election win, and his favorability ratings were off the charts in terms of how Canadians felt about him. But things have changed a lot over the last 6 years, and now we find him as the leader with the highest level of unfavorability when we ask people about whether they have a favorable or an unfavorable opinion of the Prime Minister. This could turn around, but at the moment, what we're seeing is a situation in which people are not responding well to him. What we see for the leader of the Conservative Party, Erin O'Toole, is that of the people who say that they know who he is, most of them don't like them. I mean, so, unfavorable ratings with 49% of those who say they know who he is. A favorable rating is only 28%, so he has a rating of -21. But there's still a quarter of the population that hasn't made up their mind yet. And among these ratings, we notice that a lot of them are fairly soft, even both favorable, unfavorable. So he's really going through the process of introducing himself to Canadian voters. One of the things that's really uncommon in an election campaign is to see a political leader who's offside with his party. And only 67% of the people that we interviewed in this survey said that they who are conservative voters actually said that they had a favorable impression of Erin O'Toole. So he's on in a difficult position with both his party and with the Canadian electorate. But dissatisfaction levels with the Prime Minister at the moment is making the possibility of Erin O'Toole improving those numbers very realistic. One thing the Green Party could always count on when it was running was that Elizabeth May, the previous leader of the Green Party, had a pretty good profile with Canadians, through a couple of leadership debates over a couple of different elections, and people generally respected her and had a reasonably good opinion of her. But that is not happening for Anna May Paul right now, and so in a situation in which the party was really to Canadians mostly represented by the leader, she's not the asset to the party at the moment that the previous leader Elizabeth May was. That's very clear. Now, the interesting thing for Anna May Paul is her don't really know numbers are really high. They're the highest of all the leaders that we've tested. And the important thing is that she is actually going to be at the National Leaders Debate and will have an opportunity to really introduce herself to the Canadian public. Now, a lot of the stories that have been coming out of the Green Party lately, which have not been good, have obviously given some sort of an impression of Anna May Paul. It's her opportunity to give a new impression with her own voice in her own way at the National Leaders Debate. And if she does a good job, you probably see some of these numbers start to turn around.